Good morning, welcome from Pax Europiana here on the beginning of the Nato summit. I'm in Tirana where I celebrated 2009. I celebrated the Nato membership of this beautiful country on the 1st of April 2009. I was the most happy man and I was dancing and celebrating in this boulevard here in beautiful Tirana that the country has joined NATO. And this is so important. And today I celebrate that Sweden and Finland will also join NATO. There's peace and agreement now with Turkey. That's very good. And all NATO allies, I repeat to be very clear, all members of EU should join NATO. This is very important. Yeah? So I call for Austria to join NATO, for of course then Malta join NATO, for of course all the countries in Cyprus, Ireland, Austria, all the remaining 4 EU neutrals join NATO. Because ultimately I want to make it very clear here, visible as well in the boulevard, that we are one and the same. EU and NATO, it's just, the same organization. Not organization, but the same countries, the same members, the same people, the same citizens. There is no difference between NATO and EU people in Europe. Yeah? There is just unfortunately that the Russians have broken away the United Kingdom. That's a big tragedy, and we have of course the issue with a few remaining neutrals. But here in Albania, I'm very happy that we have Albania in NATO, and it's time to get Albania in the European Union. I'm here with my Albanian eagle and I'm very happy about it. And I call for the European allies and America to work together to get Albania in the European Union. And this country is absolutely ready for 2024. Yes, I repeat, 2024, together with Montenegro and with North Macedonia. By the way, Serbia is not ready because Serbia is an ally of Russia. And Kosovo and Bosnia need to be first in NATO. I will make that case when I travel there. But what I want to make at this moment, that NATO allies, I think it's very clear, am I very clear here? NATO, EU, Albania. Absolutely, you got the message? I think I was very clear and I want to repeat it once more again. The EU allies, the EU members must join NATO. That is very good. Malta, do you hear me? Cyprus, do you hear me? Ireland, do you hear me? Austria, do you hear me? Albanians, oh that was the wrong way. Albania, do you hear me? No, Albania is already in. When I was a student activist in the 90s, when anybody would have told me that Albania is now a freer country than Austria and it's in NATO, who would have believed that? I guess nobody. And it's also unbelievable in the bigger fingers of picture, but it's really true. It's since 2009 Croatia and Albania are in NATO. Croatia is now joining the Eurozone. Congratulations. It's time for Albania to do the same. Albania adopt the euro. Hello, like Kosovo, you will have one currency. There is no reason for Albania to keep the lek. It's a not very well working currency with a very complicated history. Nationalism cannot be somehow based on currency because in the EU it doesn't exist anymore. And I want to make it very clear that this is a huge sign for regional economic integration and for European economic integration. So please adopt the euro in Albania. That's very good. And please, Mr. Rama, drop this collaboration with Mr. Vucic. Yeah? He is not on our side. He is not part of the Western values. It is very wrong. He will never join. Serbia will never join. Yeah? Let's make it very clear. Serbia will never join the European Union. If not first in NATO. Hello Serbia, join NATO. And I call again for Bosnia, for Macedonia and for Albania to adopt the euro, to make my peace offer for Serbia. That means NATO membership and the euro for Serbia, then for recognition of Kosovo, much more credible. Because if everybody is in NATO, everybody in the euro, in the Balkans, only Serbia is outside, Serbia is isolated, and the people will start to think about, do they want to be isolated? Do you want to be left alone, Serbia, alone at home? and we will develop all other countries together very successfully inside NATO, EU and the Euro. That's the logic. Today, at the start of the NATO summit in Madrid, I'm very happy that Sweden and Finland will join now. I campaigned for years for that. I will also launch a campaign in Austria for NATO membership. Please, all my Austrian friends, join NATO. And I will also continue my campaign for Albania to adopt the Euro and to join the European Union in 2024. Yes, and you will say that's too early, we can wait 100 years more. But this country is already waiting 110 years. Albania is since 110 years already a Western ally. Here I'm in front of the Rogna Hotel, also to give you some overview of this beautiful place. And this is the boulevard, and here over there is the monument of the leader, of the founder of Albania, Ismail Cemali. He was with Austria. We can be very proud about him, and he has come from Austria to Flora, because Durrës was already occupied by whom? By the Serbs. He declared independence, it was very good, and then we went to this beautiful place of Flora. He came later than here, and then all this mess of the First World War started because of Durrës. By the way, I'm not so sure if it's such a good idea to give Durrës to the Serbs, and let's discuss that a bit later. But of course, if this Arab fund is serious, let's invest, it's fine. Yeah? But no Serb power in Durrës, that must be very, very clear. So, and here I'm here to celebrate Albania in the European Union. It will come. If it will take 2029 because the French win and the Russians block the EU enlargement with their proxies in the European Union, I'm very sorry for that. But I cannot change it possibly, but I say it's wrong. It must be very clear. It is wrong if we wait until later than 2024. We can do it right now, and it's the better policy. This is what I hope for, this is what I call for, and this is what we need to be doing. And this is the better policy in this morning. So good luck with the NATO summit. I will continue to comment on the NATO summit while I'm here in Tirana on this NATO Balkan Tour 2022. I will promote obviously the NATO enlargement of Kosovo and of Bosnia, and of Austria, and of Cyprus. These are the four next logical islands. But let me conclude also, I'm for NATO membership of Ukraine and Moldova and Georgia. And that we don't do it has led to this war. It was a big mistake that we waited too long. And now this war will only end when we have also NATO membership clarity for Ukraine and for Georgia and for Moldova, because that's the only way to win this war, and that's the only way to contain Russia long term, as we have learned in the first Cold War. So, thanks a lot for this from Tirana. More to come from Pax Europiana during the day, and thanks a lot, and I'm looking very much forward. And let's bring Albania in the European Union. Bye.